So I guess we'll start off just kind of talking about yourself, where you're from, and the transition that you're making with the Downtown Partnership.
Sure. Well, I've been with Downtown Partnership now for about 2 months, and it's really been a whirlwind. There's so much going on downtown right now, and we are working to both stay abreast of that and then also be leading the pack on making some good things happen downtown. So it's a really exciting time.
So if you don't mind, Telly, what was kind of your pitch? What was your desire to take on this role?
Sure. There were a couple things, and part of the way I look at it is that we have some major initiatives afoot downtown that are really catalytic kinds of development. And so when we look at the potential for how we could activate our waterways and the trail encircling downtown, how we could work better with America the Beautiful Park and turn that into sort of a arts and entertainment village with many of the museum concepts and some of these large things going on. And while we work on that, we also really need to ensure that the day-to-day experience downtown is something that surprises and delights and gives you a reason to keep coming back downtown over and over. So it really is that kind of parallel path of how we do both at the same time so that we get the catalytic change and that we also have those positive experiences every day, whether you work downtown, you come down for a cultural event, you come down for your church to worship downtown. We want you to always feel like you have a positive, safe, good experience when you're here.
It's an everyday quality of life that you guys want to promote, is that?
Absolutely, and that's some of what we do at Downtown Partnership is we work hard to make sure that the appearance of downtown is clean. The flowers are going to start blooming soon. I know it's a little rainy today, but in a few days we'll be planting our flowers for the season, and that really makes downtown sparkle. A lot of marketing efforts. You know, one of the real qualities of downtown is this is sort of the heart and soul of the community, and this is where our mom and pop shops really concentrate. And economically, we know it is better that when you shop local, that money stays in our community. So we really want to promote our local merchants more. And that's one of the things our market research really shows that people say they love about downtown is our historic character, our arts and culture, and those unique kind of stores that you can't find anywhere else downtown. So we're really working hard to promote and tell the whole community about what they can find when they come downtown.
And that is something, the local businesses, the mom and pop. I mean, why is that so important for a downtown to have those? I mean, you go out east, there's Targets, which I love.
I do too.
You know, but there's the Ace Hardwares. There are the locally owned. What significance does that play in a downtown?
Well, certainly a community needs all those assets. But think about it when you visit a city. Where do you usually go when you, as a tourist, go to any community? You go to the downtown because that's where the character is. What makes a community distinctive and unique and unlike anywhere else. And that's what we feel we have when you're in downtown Colorado Springs. It's that sort of historic character and those special things that you don't see anywhere else. So while that's also why tourists visit a community, and we certainly want tourists and visitors to come to Colorado Springs, that's really what makes any community shine, is its own personality. And we know even when businesses are looking to perhaps locate or relocate in Colorado Springs, we hope those businesses will locate downtown, but even if they don't, those CEOs are still looking at our downtown. They're still saying, is this the kind of community where my employees, perhaps young professionals, will want to live? And so they know that's an important factor in how they make a decision about whether to locate their business in Colorado Springs, wherever in Colorado Springs is. Does it have a thriving scene downtown where people can experience nightlife, arts and culture, unique shopping, those kinds of things that make a city really worth living in. So we know we play a very big part in also how businesses decide to locate here and create jobs in our community.
And talking about jobs and bringing businesses, working with the city, working with Mayor Bach, what's the relationship between you all to try to promote businesses and attracting them downtown? You
know, we're very fortunate at this time that we have a mayor that is tremendously supportive of downtown. He understands that strong cities need a strong downtown. And actually we were just in a meeting with him earlier this week talking about many initiatives and what we can do to both help businesses through the permitting process, help to remove hurdles so that people can find success downtown. And that is both whether you're a mom and pop shop or a major catalytic development, be that getting some residential downtown or some of these major initiatives that we're talking about. So it is really exciting to have this kind of leadership around downtown at a time like this. I think it's very important in order to move our entire city forward. And we want people to understand that, you know, even if you don't live downtown, we hope you come down here and experience it. But even if you're not here every day, downtown is contributing to our community in terms of its sales tax revenue, in terms of how it attracts tourism. So everyone in our city benefits when we have a strong downtown. Whether you live in the suburbs or wherever you live, a stronger downtown really is helping our entire city. And we're fortunate that at Downtown Partnership, in addition to our elected leadership, city staff is very, very helpful and supportive. And so as we work on everything from parking situations, streetscapes improvements, those kinds of things, public safety, part of our job at Downtown Partnership is to work with all of that to enhance the downtown experience.
Yeah, and you touched on it, talking about the sales and use tax is the majority of the general fund that the city uses. So just to emphasize the fact that you have that positive relationship, Mayor Bach understands it, you understand it, it has to be a very good relationship that you all have. In addition to that, Dr. Brian Burnett over at UCCS talking about the significance of a thriving downtown to attract students here, maybe coming from Denver, up from Pueblo, further from that. Even you got CC down the street here. Talk a little bit about the significance of having a thriving downtown, giving students something to do outside of the classroom.
I think higher education is so important, and again, in so many cities, you see that they have strong relationships between their downtown and higher education. And I don't think people realize all that downtown encompasses with higher education. While we have CC with 2,000 students right downtown, Pikes Peak Community College has a huge impact here. There are literally thousands of PPCC students that are coming downtown every week for coursework. And UCCS is growing their presence downtown in various ways. They have a gallery downtown, they have various activities and events, and so we're interacting much more with UCCS and also looking longer term at how we can create transit routes and things like that for students. So they know that, you know, as they're trying to attract and recruit students to their campuses, that again, downtown is the kind of thing that students want to see, is that really thriving downtown. So we know it's important because that's also the kind of lifestyle that students and younger people are looking for, are the kinds of things that downtown offers. So we want to continue that really strong relationship with our higher education cohorts. I even hear with Pikes Peak Community College, sometimes they'll be offering a class and students have said, well, tell me when you're going to offer that course downtown, because then I will come. And that, you know, partly because we have the public transportation to help get people downtown, but that works better for their lifestyle to have their coursework here. So we really want to support and welcome students into downtown.
What do you see in the future maybe that could be brought here to attract more visitors, bands perhaps that come from outside to draw a crowd? What do you see as a realistic goal for downtown?
You know, I think it's twofold. One of our jobs with the Downtown Partnership is we work very closely with people and volunteers and nonprofits with their own initiatives and efforts, be that, as you may have heard, you know, about a children's museum, science center, baseball stadium, Olympic museum. There's a lot of really terrific folks in our community that are working hard on making those projects a reality. So that's something where we stay connected, we stay involved, we help where we can, but we know there are many forces involved in making those happen, and we can be a key player and a key lever in that as those projects develop. So we want to really help and support those kinds of initiatives. The public market is another one that I think holds tremendous potential for downtown. But what I also want to work on too in terms of events and special activities is, you know, what makes us totally unique that you can't see anywhere else. And I want to work more on sort of creating that habit to come downtown. So that's the kind of thing where, you know, for example, last winter we had ice skating in Acacia Park for 10 days. Well, that was so popular, we're doing it for 6 weeks this year. So that way someone can say, oh, well, I didn't make it this weekend, but there's still time. Or with our Acacia Park concert series every Saturday night in the summer for free, that people can come, and if they can't make it one week, they know it's still happening. And as well with First Friday art openings, those are really starting to take off, not just at our many art galleries downtown, but also the merchants are getting into it with some fun tastings or a little live music or things like that. So those are things you're going to see start really building up, where it's not just one day a year, it's creating that habit to keep coming downtown, and that if you miss a First Friday one month, that's okay, because next month there's going to be something even more exciting the next first Friday. So we want people to know that there are multiple reasons to come downtown, as well as the once a year major parade or festival or things like that. But we hope that people don't just come for that one festival and say, oh, well, I'll be back next year, because there is something going on all the time, I think.
And I'm going to ask, parking in downtown Colorado Springs. I know this is a bit outside of your jurisdiction. There are 8,000 parking spaces downtown, and this kind of goes back to the relationship with the city. Is that something maybe that needs to be addressed, in your opinion, in terms of trying to have all these events that get larger and larger, being able to handle having 8, 10, 15,000 people come down here?
Well, that's a really good question, and while in some ways it doesn't fall to us directly, we don't manage the parking, but we again work very closely with the parking enterprise. And parking is both a perception and a reality issue. I have never had a challenge, frankly, being around downtown, maybe because I'm so familiar with it that I'm always able to park within a block or two or where I want to go. So to me, if I'm coming shopping downtown, I walk just as far as if I were to park in a mall parking lot and then walk in the mall and walk down the walkway in the mall or something. So I think a lot of it is more on our responsibility to educate people about where are the parking options, how do they work, to know that you can park in the parking garage and it's $1 after 4 o'clock and $1 on the weekends. Well, what city have you been to where you can park in an urban area for $1? So it's actually, pretty accessible, pretty affordable, but at the same time, it's something we're always focused on. What are the hours for the meters? What are the rates? We want to work so you can do credit cards at the meters and things that'll make it easier for folks. So it is something that we're constantly looking at. Again, during the holiday season, we hood the meters so you can park for free and shop during the holidays. So we're always looking at how is it appropriate to work with our parking system in a way that makes sense. So it is a continual focus for us. But I would really say that it is something that if you spend just a modicum of effort, you will realize anywhere you want to go downtown, you can park within a block or two. It really is pretty simple.
And you said perception. What do you think the perception is of the downtown area from both visitors who come here and from those who might not frequent the area if they live east, south, north, and they do only come maybe once a year to that one event you're talking about? What do you think the perception is, and what do you hope that perception is?
I think, and we did some recent market research, and we looked not just at people downtown and talked to them. We looked at, we did focus groups and interviewed people in other parts of the community as well. So maybe they weren't regular downtown patrons, and the things they talked about the most, again, were that idea of unique retail, the kinds of things you can't get anywhere else, arts and culture, and that historic character. So I think the real positive perceptions are that you're going to feel more connected to your community. You're going to feel like, I live somewhere special. You're going to understand our history a little bit more. You're going to be at a human level with people, walking down the street eye to eye, and have a little bit more of that human connection that I think downtowns really bring. I think those are the real positive things. I would say most of our perceptions from folks who don't visit downtown may be based on, they might hear something about downtown and realize, well, daytime, nighttime, and every time in between, different folks, during the day we have a lot of employees downtown. In the evening, it might be more arts and culture, and then we have our nightlife scene. Sunday mornings, we're packed downtown because we have so many beautiful historic churches. So different kinds of people are coming downtown at different hours. So I think our personality and our complexion of our downtown changes even throughout the day. And that might then be based on if someone comes down only on Sunday morning, what they think Sundays are, what they think shopping time is or something.
And also perception, a lot of people, just when I'm out in the community hearing people, crime. And this is something that both the police department and Mayor Bach have taken very seriously. A lot of it is perception, a lot of it is reality. Absolutely. And they're making strides. They're going to redesign all of Tejon to make it hopefully a little bit safer so people feel safer. This is kind of stating the obvious, but the significance of people feeling safe down here. Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
It is very important, and CSPD has been very, very proactive and very supportive. We have a great relationship with them. We are really beefing up foot patrols. We really realize it is literally the boots on the ground that can have that strong impact. We've had, frankly, very positive results from the security cameras that have helped a lot. I mean, we even saw in Boston recently how having a camera in the right place at the right time can really help with situations. So we're seeing some good results. And we are also working on one way to help in any downtown is the more street activity you have, the more eyes on the street of just business people, shoppers, all of that makes a downtown safer. Where you have problems is, frankly, if you have sort of a dead zone where there aren't people out. So that's where, for example, in Acacia Park, which has wonderful attributes but also challenges, we're working more to have more positive activity in the park. And the more positive activities there are, well, then that just makes the negative activity go away. So if you have a concert, if you have ice skating, I can guarantee you're going to have a great time, and there'll be so many people there that that's going to make it something positive and safe, because when you're surrounded by other people, bad activities aren't going to happen. It's a good thing. So that's really a lot of our emphasis too, is to make sure that, you know, from lighting to working closely with CSPD to have the actual foot patrols on the ground to, again, just making sure there's a lot of activity, because the more people we have downtown, that's what deters crime, is that.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
the strategic placing of events,
yeah.
and like you're saying, the dead zones, you take care of the dead zones. You're not going to have people hanging out, loitering.
Sure. And I always feel safe walking down the street. As you can see, it's just there's plenty of people walking down the street. Well, negative activity is not going to happen when there's so many people around. That's not the way it works. So.
Speaking of Acacia Park, on the website, you guys have a lot of renderings of possibilities, things that could be coming. I know this is, again, I don't know if these are considered pie in the sky ideas, but there's some really exciting stuff in terms of what you guys are thinking, how to update and give a facelift to Acacia Park.
Yeah. I think that's such an important asset to our community, both historically and in terms of what it offers with the band shell and other things there. So we're working closely with the Parks Department, and you're right, will we be able to do the multi-million-dollar pie in the sky kind of redesign of the park? Maybe not right now, but we have many things at a more medium level that we're working on. And it's amazing how, again, a little good design and using landscape the right way, how that can really enhance the downtown. We also know we're going through a drought, so we want to be very responsible about how we look at plantings and things in the park. One very positive development is we're going to be using the small building on the north side of the park. We're partnering with the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and we're going to try this summer to do a little beta test of turning that into sort of a visitor information hub. And again, that will be another way to have people in the park in very positive ways, that if you're a tourist or a visitor, or even if you're a local and you're wanting information about all the many great activities and attractions in town, that you can drop by there and get some information to help have a good experience, not just downtown, but in all of Colorado Springs. So that's taking a building that really wasn't used for anything in any way and being an attraction into the park, so that there again be another positive activity in the park. So bit by bit, ice skating, all these things, we're helping that park to really sort of realize its full potential.
And throwing the food trucks on the east side of it's not going to hurt anything.
Food trucks are coming soon. Yes, that's another good thing happening downtown. Food trucks are coming in just a few weeks.
The Imagine Downtown final development was developed in 2007. 2007 was a great year for business. And then 2008 came along and things slowed down, to say the least. Is that still something that is used as kind of a blueprint, as an outline for what you guys want to accomplish? Or is it something that maybe you need to go and say, okay, things have changed, we might need to retool our thought process a little bit?
You know, Imagine Downtown really is our framework still for downtown. And coupled with the Urban Land Institute report from last year, where we had really some leading urban experts from across the country come in and provide some good information and some recommendations for us. So some of those things are those tenets that you really know are helpful, both for any downtown and then also specifically what's best for us here in Colorado Springs. One of those being residential. Residential is key downtown. We have a little bit of it downtown, not as much as we would like. And we are very, very close to having some residential development take off. We know there's demand. In fact, the Urban Land Institute report, I think, said it was pent-up demand, that people of all ages, be it young professionals or what we're also seeing especially is empty nesters and retirees, they want that downtown lifestyle. They want to live somewhere where they can walk out the door, get a cup of coffee, go to a movie, go to a theater, have a great meal out, and they want that all in walking distance. And we really want to provide that for all age ranges and all demographics and all lifestyles, be that a single person or a college student as well as that retiree. And that's really one of our focuses. So you'll see that both in Imagine Downtown and in the ULI report. Residential is a key part of that. So it still is a tool that guides us, and we've actually accomplished many things from Imagine Downtown despite the recession. One of the big recommendations through Imagine Downtown was creating the Downtown Development Authority, and that was something that came out of Imagine Downtown and has been able to help us in economic development with downtown. We've helped small businesses improve in various ways and improve their facades. We've helped support many events downtown, and really using that as a tool for helping us to grow economically downtown.
And relying on those people that want to move here. Before really investors will come in with a grocery store. I think I read somewhere that you need at least 2,500 people to maintain a grocery. So you really do have to put focus and attention to those people, and then the thought being hopefully the other investors will come in after that. So the significance of really meeting the need for renters, homeowners, down here, that's a really important thing.
Absolutely. I mean, what we say in the downtown world is retail follows rooftops, and we have strong retail now, but when you talk about, again, like when you're wanting to attract either a certain store, a certain kind of thing, they want to know who's within a 1 square mile radius or 3 square miles or whatever, and it's that kind of density that then brings these other amenities here. So we need a little bit more of that density and those people who say, yes, I'm going to be living downtown, and that creates, again, that 24/7 lifestyle, which also helps with safety, that you have people who are, again, not just here 8 to 5 for work, or maybe coming to a show and then going home, but it's those people living and working and entertaining and worshiping and all the things that they do downtown because they live here. So residential is a very high priority for us.
And the people in Colorado Springs, at least the short time that I've been here, they really take care of their neighborhood.
Yes.
And if you have more people down here, that's more people taking care of their neighborhood, which is downtown, which
more eyes on the
everyone,
streets.
exactly.
Yeah.
Old Colorado City, 35 years ago, there was a plan to actually wipe out and put up a business park, just get rid of all the historic buildings. And there's, thankfully, there was an overwhelming cry from the West Siders who said no. And the development that's happened in Old Colorado City, really, I mean, you're talking about Sunday afternoons, Saturday afternoons. You can't stir that place with a stick, to use a Southern phrase. Is that something that you can look at with the Downtown Partnership and say, they have X, Y, and Z working for them. That's something that we can adopt and bring here. Is there ever any sort of cross-pollination between the two, knowing that that's kind of outside of your realm?
Yeah, so far, being new on the job, I haven't yet connected directly with some of the Old Colorado City champions, but I am a firm believer that the rising tide raises all boats. I know it's a cliche, but it's really true. And certainly, any big city has multiple sort of hubs and neighborhoods and districts within a broader downtown, and they all need to thrive in order for each to be successful. And so I really believe, in much the same way we can see good things going on in Manitou Springs, well, that helps Colorado Springs too. When Manitou's doing well, that helps us. When we're doing well, that helps Manitou. And then, of course, all Colorado City, just a mile or two away from us, we want them to be successful as well. I think it's good for everybody. So hopefully moving forward, we can look at ways that we can work together, but also ways so that we don't step on each other's toes. If they're doing a big event one weekend, maybe we negotiate and we sort of make sure that everyone has their moment to shine. And I think that's what's best for our whole community, because there's so many great assets in our community, and I really believe that if we all get stronger, it's good for everybody. So, but I do think a strong downtown is essential. It is really, really essential to have a thriving community. And that's why we're really working hard to make that happen.